So Growing Garden just updated to the Halloween update part 2, and people are not happy about this. A lot of people have been talking about how they have been very disappointed in this part 2 update. Not just the update, but also the admin abuse that happened before the update. And also guys, I want to go ahead and clear things up in today's video. Just an FYI, by the way, I'm not making this video to complain, but in fact, I'm actually going to be defending the devs in this video somewhat. Of course, we are still going to call out a few things that are just a little bit silly, but I want to try and keep this video as positive as I can towards the devs. I'll explain why, but let's go ahead and talk about what is going on. So once again, the Halloween update part 2 is here, and as you guys might already know, in this update, this witch actually is still gonna remain in the game. This is because the witch is gonna keep on swapping between, well, the witch event and then the dead tree event, I believe every hour or 2 hours or something like that. So yeah, it's gonna keep on switching between the two events, which honestly, I personally like that concept because I actually really like doing the witch event. It's fun. You can turn off your brain, watch YouTube on the side, and grind out this event. But a lot of people have been complaining about how the dead tree event is extremely grindy and you don't really get much rewards out of it. So here is every single reward you can get out of the dead tree. I'm sorry, the quality is kind of bad, but as you guys can see, this is pretty much everything you can get out of the dead tree. And as you guys can see, you get godly sprinklers, 50 candy corns, 15 harvest tools, and these are all of the common rewards. And honestly guys, considering how long it actually takes to do the dead tree task, these rewards are absolutely atrocious. A lot of people, even in my full guide video, have been talking about how they have been disappointed with this update. As you guys can see, there is a lot of people saying this week is a giant letdown. Bro, this game isn't worth your time. I swear I forgot weekly updates existed since 3 weeks ago. This is a mid update. Who agrees with me? And as you guys can see, a lot of people are actually agreeing. And once again, I haven't cherry picked these comments, guys. These comments are like 50% of the comments on that video. And it's honestly understandable. On the surface, this update might not look like much because yeah, it isn't much. We haven't really gotten much. We didn't even get a new seed pack or a new egg or anything. We got like 2 or 3 new pets. Yeah, we got like 4 new pets or 5 new pets and a bunch of new seeds. I think 5 or 6 new seeds. And in terms of game mechanics, nothing really changed. Once again, you can still grind out the witch event. You can still grind out the jack-o'-lantern event. So nothing much has changed. And yeah, this is why a lot of people are upset because this week wasn't really an update. There really was not much added inside of this update. But this is when I want to go ahead and defend the devs. We asked for this. We asked for a smaller update so they can work on bigger updates. You guys remember that? A lot of people have been saying, especially in the Grow a Garden Discord server, give us smaller updates, but make them a little bit more content heavy. And this is exactly what that is. It's a smaller update with a lot of really well polished features. I mean, for example, let's take the digging quest. We have never ever seen something like that in the game before. If you guys know what I'm talking about, the new digging quest is really fun. Honestly, I really like that event. Same goes for the dead tree. Sure, we have seen a task system before, even in the fall update, but you don't have to do the dead tree event. Like, you can completely skip that event if you don't really feel like doing it. Once again, there is some people who enjoy doing the task systems. I personally don't like doing tasks. I think they are just really annoying. But again, there is some people who actually enjoy doing tasks, actually enjoy grinding out tasks, and those people can go ahead and do the task event. But for the others like me who don't really like doing it, you have the option to skip it. And that's why I don't see why people are upset about this. If you don't want to do a certain part of this event, you can entirely skip it. You don't have to do it. The good thing is most of the new rewards are actually locked behind the new digging system. So you have to go ahead and do the digging system more than you actually have to worry about the dead tree. And that is why I personally don't hate this update. I think it's well polished, I think it's well made, and I think it's pretty unique in my opinion. But this doesn't change the fact that people don't like it. And at the end of the day, the devs have to make something that people like. They can't just make something that they think is right, add it to the game, call it a day. Clearly, people are really upset about this update. They don't like this update, but hopefully the devs learn from this and next week we get something different. But I honestly don't see why people are hating on the devs for this after we asked for something like this in the game. Once again, I just want to remind you guys, we asked for a smaller event, so the next week is going to be a bigger event. Hopefully next week is actually going to be a bigger, more polished update. Another thing that people are very upset about is the timer. The fact that you have to wait 2 hours for the next event to come out is kind of ridiculous. And one more fumble that the developers did is when this update first came out, they didn't even add the dead tree. That's right, when this update first came out, we didn't even get the dead tree first. It was just the witch. So that's where a bunch of people just lost interest in the Halloween update part 2, because once again, when the update came out, they didn't even add the dead tree until an hour after the update came out, which was just what the hell. Not only that, but the admin abuse and the update was also delayed by an hour yesterday, which also contributed to the lack of interest in this update. I mean, nobody really wants to stay up or, you know, miss important parts of their life just to come and attend a 2-hour admin abuse for Grow a Garden when the update is going to be so freaking disappointing. So I just want to go ahead and show you guys when this update came out. So this is my live stream from yesterday, and as you guys can see, the timer is about to tick down to 0 seconds, and yeah, look at this. The witch literally did not even change. The witch was still in the game. In fact, the jack-o'-lantern came out of the ground. Instead of adding the new update with the new digging system, they just went ahead and kept the old one. So we had to go ahead and wait another hour for this witch to go away, which was absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, this was another very, very silly mistake that the devs made, and I really want to call them out on this. You can't release an update and then not release the update. It doesn't make any sense. So hopefully next time the devs don't make such a silly little mistake. But now I want to go ahead and talk about the most important thing that the developers missed out on. And this is the major reason why there is so much controversy around the Halloween update part 2. So as you guys know, we get admin abuse every single week before an update. That's good. We love admin abuse. But the issue is it's starting to get repetitive. And not just for the players, but also for Jandel. If you guys attended yesterday's admin abuse, you might have noticed that Jandel just felt like he was not interested. I don't want to speak for other people, but honestly, it just felt like it. It felt like he didn't really want to do the admin abuse, and it's completely fair if he did feel like that, by the way. This man has to host the Plants vs. Brainrot admin abuse for an hour, 2 hours, then come and host the Grow a Garden admin abuse for another hour, 2 hours. It can get tiring, especially considering that it is nighttime, like past midtime where he lives. So honestly, let's not send haste to Jandel for not being very, very enthusiastic during the admin abuse, because honestly, it is very, very late for him. I completely understand that. But someone in my comments said this one thing. I wish I could find that comment again, but I think it was in my live stream, and they said that these admin abuses feel automated. They feel like they're made by AI. It just feels like a shell of what admin abuses used to feel when Grow a Garden first came out with admin abuses. And I think that's the issue. Maybe instead of getting admin abuses for an hour every single week, maybe they could cut them down to 30 minutes. But these 30 minutes of admin abuses are genuinely good. Like, they actually have a bunch of new content. Once again, I said bring back cutscenes. We need cutscenes back into Grow a Garden. It would make such a difference. People will be so much more hyped. A bunch of new weathers instead of just repeating the same old weathers over and over again. Look, I just feel like they need to put a little bit more effort into admin abuses, and it's just going to create way more hype for the upcoming update. But once again, I guess we'll have to wait and see what the developers think of that. Again, I'm not trying to be negative with this video. I'm trying to stay as positive as I can. But again, there is a few of these silly things that need to be called out and need to be pointed out so they can get fixed. Hopefully they can get fixed. Once again, there is a lot of other things that happened during the admin abuses that people are disappointed in. For example, there was no seed stock at all. That's right, Jandel did not stock the shop at all, and people were very, very, very unhappy about this. Considering that we have not gotten the Great Pumpkin Seed even once in stock, this is absolutely ridiculous. He should have stocked it at least one time to make people happy, you know what I mean? Most of the people in my live stream were there to get the Great Pumpkin Seed. In fact, people kept asking me if the Great Pumpkin Seed was in stock every 5 minutes, and it never came. Not even one time, which is, come on, why? Once again, in my comments, I'm sorry, but the game is cooked unless they actually start listening to the community. To be honest, the admin abuse isn't that good nowadays. Like, Jandel forgot to stock the seeds this admin abuse. He should start doing that again. No Great Pumpkin Seed. Not gonna lie, all admin abuse isn't great anymore. It just doesn't feel the same. And yeah, I'm not cherry picking these comments, guys. This is literally all of the comments on my live stream. Same goes for chat. If you guys want to go ahead and watch this video, you can, and you'll see in chat a lot of people were disappointed. I haven't even gone into the blatant pay to win stuff that they're now adding into the game, by the way. Like, this is a completely whole story, but the Grow a Garden devs gotta step up their game. But at the same time, hopefully the next update is a little bit better. Hopefully the devs actually learn from this update and actually try and make a better update next week. Once again, no hate to anyone. I'm simply just trying to point out a few things that are pretty much obvious. Let me know what you guys think about this entire thing in the comments down below. Do you think admin abuses are fun anymore? Do you think they're boring? Once again, let me know in the comments down below. And hey, if you guys found this video fun to watch, hit that like and subscribe button. We're trying to get to 400,000 subscribers. So if you want to help me get there, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.